But if you use nothing else, the people that were there.
Debbie and Ryan had told them that our whole group decided to leave and chase the drug life because we didn't want to stay clean and that the state had my baby.
For everyone to be painted as just scum, told me that I could go or that I had to leave and that Kristin could stay. He had propositioned someone to sleep with him because he was twacked out of his mind. Allie deserves life outside of a tent, and I refuse to put her. I refuse to put her in a tent. That's unless we're going camping.
Like regardless of how they try to control you or put you down or any of that kind of stuff, y'all are gonna make it do your thing regardless.
Well, yeah, you guys
Like,
are
that doesn't matter.
100%.
of them, and that's awesome. That's really because it's rare to hear it from all the other ones. You know,
Everybody else is either like further behind than where they started at, or just in the same spot.
but at least
They
they're
got the
clean.
worst reputation.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's
And that right there. I mean, I don't know what parts of this y'all will use in the video, but if you use nothing else, the people that were there, they're great people.
Right.
And
I like them all.
the picture that's painted
Of all of bad.
Of all of us, because I mean we're included in it too. The picture that's painted of us, it's disgusting, and none of it is. I can't say none of it's true because most of us were active addicts at some point. But then again, some people are addicted to caffeine.
Yeah.
right.
And to put a person down to further someone else's goal, I won't go out like that. And I can't knock someone else down just to get where I want to be if it's gonna.
Especially when a month before, she cared so much and she was so proud of her and blah blah blah, so compassionate, and then it's like, I don't know, you talk back to her and all of a sudden you're the world's
bunch of
worst
dirty
addict, and
drug addicts, thief,
like,
lying con.
that is total like just exploitation and whatever else you want to call it. It's
just evil.
Oh, another point that I got to bring up, Thomas.
Oh yeah,
Thomas.
He's a fun guy.
Thomas, look, Thomas is an interesting character. I know Thomas's family. I didn't meet Thomas until
last summer.
Yeah, I met Thomas last summer, before Hope Village and before he was living in a tent down 2 tents over from us. I had met him, and he's weird. But
But who ain't?
but anybody that's normal nowadays is weird.
True.
Yeah.
So, like, it's to be normal is just it's almost wrong nowadays, and it's looked at as strange. But
It's boring.
it's boring. Yeah, if you're normal, you're boring. Well, hi. What's up, buddy? Hi. Oh, it's dark.
But
Like,
all the people there, I can say one thing. For me to be, the last 2 months of my pregnancy was awful. I wasn't comfortable. Everything made me ill. I couldn't keep nothing down.
Damn.
They were wonderful. But I was not, to hear the lady from Georgia, like I said, we just got back in touch with her through our massage therapist. She had come like a week after we had left, and Debbie and Ryan had told them that our whole group decided to leave and chase the drug life because we didn't want to stay clean and that the state had my baby. So whenever I talked to her and stuff, she said, I come because I come bearing gifts for all of you guys. She said the church raised money for not just y'all, they raised money for everybody that was there. She said we didn't want to give it to Debbie and Ronnie, we wanted to give it to y'all.
Mm-hmm.
She said it was for y'all, we wanted to make sure y'all got it. And I told her, I said, I appreciate it. I said, I'm sorry that they told you that. I said, but no, we were all
sorry,
really
sissy.
good. I said, I have my baby. The state does not have it. And she said, is there any way you can get in touch with everybody? I would like to at least give what is rightfully y'all that was raised for all of you guys. I would like to give it to you. And I said, I can reach out to everybody. I said, I have no problem doing that. And she said, well, me and the church ladies will come back down. She said, y'all pick a date. And she said, we will give y'all what's rightfully y'all. And I said, okay. I said, but she said they painted a really bad picture of us, and that's not who none of them people were.
Yeah, when we left there, the 5 of us that did leave that day, when we got to where Kristin and I are staying at now, Candace and Magic, they've moved since, but they're doing good. April, she's actually got a boyfriend, which blows everyone's mind because April wasn't the whole boyfriend type. She was the
other man, basically.
She was our homeboy. Like
she didn't care to get dirty.
She was the one that we didn't ever because she doesn't like cats. She was going to be the dog lady.
And she was also our nanny. Because he was there every single day when I found out I was pregnant with Alex. Kristin don't live there. Kristin don't live there. And he was with us all the way up until I had her. And whenever I came home from the hospital with her, she had stayed and watched the dogs and stuff. And she had told me, I told her, I said, look, you go and have some fun. I got Allie. I'm fine. We are good. You took care of the dogs for 4 days.
She's doing good now.
And she's doing wonderful for herself. She still checks in and stuff. But
for everyone to be painted as just scum in it,
they're not.
I guess that's the best word I could use for it. I mean, every one of us was painted as lowlives that didn't give a shit about nothing but ourselves.
Exactly.
And every one of us that was there were people that would get put back farther just to help someone else. We would, in a sense, make our situation harder for us because someone else was hungry. Mm-hmm. And to be painted as just someone that doesn't care about anyone but themselves, that's not who we are.
And another thing is Debbie and Ronnie met their match when all of us went up there because we all knew the signs were like, when they told us we had to throw away all of our belongings and that we would get moved. No, I've got sentimental stuff that was given to me for our daughter from other homeless people that to this day for my kid. Like Allie has a lot of family that is not biologically family.
And they have nothing, that have absolutely nothing to give her short of love.
And I'm not going to take that away from them. I don't care what your status is.
Yeah.
They took care of me my whole pregnancy. I had one little old man that still is roaming the streets of our county. And every time he saw me, are you hungry? I'll give you half of what I got. Or I'll give you all of it. And when FEMA paid for us a hotel for a month, he come and took showers. But every time he would come and take a shower, he would always bring something for Allie. I wasn't giving that away. I wasn't. I'm sorry. Yeah, it might not mean nothing to a lot of people, but it meant a lot to me because he thought about my daughter.
Yeah.
But I have to throw away something of mine just to get something new
of theirs,
of what they have or what they want to give us.
Right.
I don't have any use for a person that is only going to give me stuff they want to give me.
Yeah.
There's stuff that I need, there's stuff that she needs, and there's stuff that Allie needs. And that I'm going to choose someone that cares about my daughter before I choose someone that cares about themselves.
Yeah.
And when Debbie and Ronnie told me that I could go or that I had to leave and that Kristin could stay, I held my tongue
like
because
three different couples, man. Like they always tried to do that. You can stay, but
they tried to split them up.
Yeah,
that right there. That's not a person who cares about people.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
A person that is going to tell a couple, especially a couple that's pregnant,
And that's been through everything.
Expecting a baby in months, to tell them that, oh, it's okay if y'all, like, if you stay, but they have to go. When we were homeless, she turned down homeless shelters because they wouldn't let a non-married couple, or some homeless shelters in Rutherford County
Are only for women.
Only for women. It's a battered women's shelter. They won't let a male in. She turned down that multiple times on nights where, bro, we couldn't feel our toes.
Wow.
She stayed with me in it. And there's been times where I've been offered places to go and they said that she couldn't come. And I'm not going if she can't. My dogs, if you tell me I can sleep on your couch, but my dogs aren't welcome, I got a tent.
Yep.
Yeah, that's my cat.
Yeah.
My dogs, before we had Allie, our dogs were our kids.
They went through
now
everything.
Our dogs are they're her brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
And there's no one that can change my mind about that. That's my human puppy. And
Like a human puppy. What were you gonna say about Thomas?
Oh, Thomas. This guy. So,
he was weird, but he wasn't what they made him out to be. Yeah, he did have some charges on him, but it was all drug induced, and he, like I said, he has a lot of demons.
The sexual assault charge that he had. Now, that is what he went to jail for, not what he was charged with.
Yeah.
What he had done was he pretty much propositioned someone for sex.
Oh.
He was high as a kite, and he had propositioned someone to sleep with him because he was twacked out of his mind, and they reported him. Well, when they reported him, they embellished all kinds of factors in the story. Now, like I said, I've known Thomas's family most of my life. I'd never met Thomas because he's a cousin to the Hips that I know. Well,
and he frequents the county jail a whole lot, and then gets sent off. He's
in and out of county jail because he's he's homeless.
All I saw was like a domestic is what he got locked up for, and then like drunk driving or something. I didn't see
homelessness in Rutherford County. Yeah, see, he got hit with the what did they? I don't know what they ended up charging him with.
Assault on a female or something.
Oh, it might have been assault on a female. Yeah, that's right. I don't know. Yeah, because it's the same thing Ronnie had the whole time.
Well, he never actually touched the girl that he propositioned. He had just made a really
bad joke.
He had made a very bad judgment call in making a pass at someone that wasn't up to catch it. And when she called 911 to report him, she kind of went off. She got creative, and she kind of just kept it hot with all these things that he did, when all he did was pretty much say, "Hey, you're trying to get down." But
isn't he like outside of the drugs, like a little like mentally?
He gets a check. He is legally throwed, like he's crazy.
Gotcha.
And he's not necessarily incompetent crazy or incapable of work or anything like that. He's able to choose right from wrong. He's not autistic or mentally handicapped. He's just, the drugs themselves
have messed him up.
They've messed him up through the years. And because of that, now he has that mental deficiency of choosing good idea from bad idea, not necessarily right from wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Seems like a good idea now, but it's probably not. And he
Yeah.
goes for it.
I mean,
I guess his mom was angry with Debbie because Debbie kept giving him a runaround about a camper.
Yeah,
Like,
camper.
Yeah,
telling
absolutely.
her to come meet her somewhere,
She
and
wouldn't
she
show
wouldn't be
up.
there or something like that. Nothing about
You better put her to bed.
yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah,
can wrap
we
this
wrap
up.
this
If you
up
put her
anyway.
to
We
bed.
gotta get our kids to bed too, but it's been awesome talking to you guys.
Yeah, and I'm glad
It's been awesome talking to you.
And I mean,
And
I'd
thank
love to
y'all for being a voice for people.
because this is something that people's voices do need to be heard,
They do.
especially when it comes to situations like this where everyone around it is misled.
Well, yeah.
and there was a lot of like profit made, a lot of good things come in, and y'all didn't see none of it.
That's disgusting.
But
We
yeah,
got yelled at and we got belittled. That's the better word. We got belittled for taking meals. Not we wouldn't just like stock up with food from the pantry. We'd get something to eat for that time, that night, or the next morning. While it was unlocked, we'd get breakfast. Even if it's 7 o'clock at night, we'd get breakfast for in the morning so that we didn't have to worry about it as soon as we got up.
Right.
But we would get belittled and told how we were wrong for taking from Hope Village. We were Hope Village. We were the ones that put all that stuff in there. We were the ones that helped make that place run again. And because it was a beat down little waypoint in Kaiser in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And when we got there, the pipes in the bathroom were frozen. We couldn't get showers. We put a space heater in there to keep the freaking pipes thawed so we could get cold showers still.
Yeah.
And we made it work because it was what we had, but to be told that we couldn't eat the food that people were giving to us.
Yeah.
And looking back on it, people were misled even about that because we weren't necessarily displaced by Helen. Like, yeah, it made our situation 100 times harder.
Yeah.
But we were homeless when Helen hit.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
that was how we started even talking about this to begin with.
Yeah.
It just that right there. I hate that people were misled about that.
Yeah.
And it's awesome that y'all are making it known that people were misled about that.
We just want, we want people in our
damn, my phone died. Motherfucker.
Bye, y'all. Okay.
All right, in the Zoom, where it's going to stay on there.